All right, this is interesting. Hey, hello everybody. There's quite a few of you already in the chat. I know I'm starting a little bit early, but that's precisely because I'm using a new stream platform. I don't think I've ever done restream before. I think I've been as a guest on a restream, um, I guess live, but I've never everything I've done up until now had been on using the okay, hold on. I've got all of these going on right now. They starting up. Okay, so I need to start this. Just no audio. Let me get it to the live. There we go. Sorry about that. Um, hey, what's up? What's up, Marcos? Bigfoot, thanks for being here. Linda, Jeff. Let's see who else. Who else did I see earlier? Linda, Jeff. Thought I saw Kyle and Keith. Who else did I see? Oh, Smiley. Yeah, I was talking to Smiley. Uh, there's Kyle. Lori, thank you for being here. Oh, actually, I'm kind of happy you're here. Audra Myers, we're gonna put you a little bit on the spot today, Lori. I hope you don't mind. Y Mix Pez Gol Acuariofilia México. Gracias por estar aquí, compañero. Les debo uno en español. Pronto voy a hacer algo en español. Yo creo ahora mismo, al rato ya que acabe de aquí, para ver quién, con quién, ponerlos al tanto de lo que ha estado pasando. All right, so like I said, this is first time I'm using Restream. I'm still trying to learn all the bells and whistles. It's interesting because I'm watching a couple of things here now that I immediately picked up on. I can see the chat like I normally do on StreamYard, but it also gives me the feature where it's I can share the chat column with myself on the screen. But what's interesting is on the screen, the last message that gets posted goes directly to the top. Where on the side, it's at the bottom like it is normally on StreamYard. Sorry. So that's kind of interesting. We got a few more people coming in. Sarah, thank you for coming in. Cheryl, Lucky, thank you so much for coming in here today. Mountain Greenery, thank you for dropping in. Looks like Aqua Funk's also here. Let's see. All right. So as you guys know, what's crazy live stream up to this? Um, it's another episode of the plug. For those of you that it's the first time watching, um, what I do is I like to talk about channels that I recently have come across and that I find interesting. Um, I'm kind of, I guess, one of the oddballs because I don't necessarily just watch one particular type of video. I mean, I like watching anything that has to do with the aquarium hobby. I'm somebody that's really interested in watching as much as an educational and informational, say like a species profile or spotlight, to how to do things. Hey David, gracias por estar aquí, hermano. Es how to how to build things, how to put things together, and also just anything that has to do hobby related. One of the other things that I like to do in particular with this live stream, I kind of want to bring attention to some of the channels that I've kind of come across and that I have, you know, found interesting and have enjoyed, and also um, to bring attention to people who are currently part of our community, and are very active, but sometimes don't necessarily get their flowers, I guess, or get the recognition that they deserve. And so that's what I try to do with the plug. It's you know, it's just a way to kind of share. or bring a little bit of a spotlight to the channels and the members of the community, who really make this part, this community really fun and entertaining, and you know, and getting to know each other. So let's see, we still have about 3 minutes since the time I had scheduled it to start it. So I'll give it a little bit of time. Again, I started a little bit early because this is the first time I'm using this application. It's kind of interesting. It's pretty intuitive. Hey, Rachel, thanks for being here. It's pretty intuitive, and but it's just learning the different placements of where the buttons are and what they do. Um, so I'm glad Lori and Rachel are here. We're gonna talk about them a little bit today. Um, One of the things that I found really interesting, typically what I'll do, also if it's the first time here and you're worried about trying to find the links. Hey, Justin, uh, trying to find the links. Usually, if you go to the description, what I'll try to do is I'll try to hyperlink the names of the channels that I'm going to be talking about, so that it makes it a lot easier to find them. One of the things that I've learned is that sometimes, especially a lot of the channels that I'll present to you guys are smaller channels, and they're really hard to find. Um, for some reason, they get buried in the list of all those channels that are out there. So if you go to the description, most of the channels will be linked. Today it's the first time I was not able to link a particular channel for some reason. It wouldn't do it. I tried it from different places, different times, different ways of trying to do it, and it just wouldn't link that channel up. Which, that one I'm not too worried about. It's a bigger channel. They've got over 16,000 subscribers. So if you type in their name in the search, you'll be able to find them relatively easy. Wait, my screen paused. Did I glitch? Now I'm starting to think it might be my computer, that the operating system is not very good, because we just recently upgraded our internet too. So let me know if it glitched and I paused out or froze or did anything weird. Hey, Keith, hope you're doing well. I know you were pretty excited to get some results back. Hopefully those went well. Nobody knows a government name, so who are you? Happy to see. So who's calling you by your government name? Not me, although I could, because I do know it. Um, but I guess we can go ahead and get started now. It's 4 o'clock. I have scheduled it for 4 o'clock. It seems like relatively things are going smooth. I'm I think I can get accustomed to this platform. I'm kind of liking it. I know this one is interesting because it'll give me an option that I haven't seen, or at least I haven't found on StreamYard, is that if I want to do a vertical screen, I can do that. I don't know if it'll switch it automatically to doing that on the live, which I think I'm gonna have to play around with that. But it does give me the option. I'm looking here. It's got two little icons. It's got one that looks like a computer monitor, and the other one looks like a cell phone. So I'm really curious to see what it does. If I'm not going to do it right now, because I'll probably lose the live stream, and I don't want to do that. But all right, so let's get into it. I know Night Owl just came in. Thank you for dropping in. Let's see, who else? Who else? Uh, the Funk, the Funk Master. All right. It looks like I've said hello pretty much to everybody. If I missed you, well, thank you for being here. You said two ladies' names. I don't know who. Oh, okay. I'm talking about Lori is Monster Fish Gal, and Rachel is Bootscatsbootscats. See, if you were more of a participant on the live stream, Swunk, you would know these things. But you decide to stay away, so that's why you don't know those things. Um, yeah, I'm just kidding. I just know because I don't have anything else better to do. Even when I'm working, I'm watching live streams. So I've picked up the names along the way here and there. All right. So today I it's a little interesting thing because I totally missed the mark on this one, because I made an assumption based on the channel's name, and I think I am totally wrong on where they're from. I Hey Jeffries, thanks for being here. The first channel that I want to talk about is called TN Aquascaping. Now, for those of you that have been around for a while, TN has been a kind of uh, a common name designation that people use for their channels. And they're usually the TN represents it. They use it because they're out of the state of Tennessee. So I kind of make the same assumption and thinking, oh, this young lady is from Tennessee, just based off of the channel name. And so let me share the screen so that we can get going. All right, we'll share it because then it'll happen like a couple of other live streams where I got to talking and you guys weren't seeing what I was talking about. So this is the channel TN Aquascaping. Like I said, if you look right here in the descriptions, these are supposed to take you to their channel. So here's the problem with assuming things, right? Uh, Based off the name, I really was thinking, oh, this young lady is out of the state of Tennessee, which I thought was kind of cool. And so I've been watching her channels. The reason, as you guys are well aware of, I'm kind of going through a transition in my fish room. Kind of went from half of my fish room being sort of display breeding tanks, I guess, and the other half trying to breed stuff. And I'm kind of changing directions and going back to really trying to create, I wouldn't say necessarily aquascape because that's a whole different skill set, but I do want to set up more display tanks, more tanks for me to sit there and enjoy them instead of being in here in this bedroom. But anyways, I was started watching this young lady's videos. Like the very first one I saw was a tour of all her aquascapes, and she's done some really nice nice tank setups that she's done. Um, and then I just started taking a deep dive into the channel and kind of looking at what she's been doing. And it wasn't until I watched this. Let me see if the audio's off. Yeah, um, I started watching this video because she was going to set up an aquarium at a fish store, and I thought, oh, that's kind of cool. Um, that seems like a really neat collaboration. And as an aquascaper, that's like the best of both worlds because not only do you get to make a video as a content creator, but you have unlimited resources. I mean, you're at a store, so you don't have to worry about going out and buying all your hardscape, substrate, plants, or any of that stuff. And so I was watching this video. And I thought, that's kind of neat. Well, during the course of watching this, I believe I learned her name, which I believe is Corey. And the other thing towards the end is she reveals the name of the store and the city that she's in, and it's in Escondido. For those of you that are not familiar, it's I guess like a suburbs of the San Diego city metro area. And so they're in Southern California. And that when I found that out, that even got me a little bit more excited. I don't know why I get so excited when I find other YouTube channels that are relatively within my sphere. And for the longest time when I was living in California, well, San Diego was like my backyard. We would go up there just to go grab lunch. Uh, because it was only about an hour 45-minute drive for us when we lived in the Imperial Valley. And so I thought that was really interesting. And I thought, oh, this is really cool. This is somebody that is relatively close. It's also doing some content creation. And as much time as I spend in San Diego, maybe one of these days we'll cross paths. And but nonetheless, this is her channel. Like I said, what's really interesting is that she stated in one of her channels, and this is what it really impressed me, that she has only been doing this for a year. So for somebody that's only been keeping aquariums or doing aquascaping for a year, she's really come a long ways. Because I look back at some of the aquariums that I've set up, even year and a half, 2 years into the hobby, and they do not look anything like the stuff uh, that she's putting together. Funk says, "I'm a pro at aquascaping, bare bottom tanks with no deco." I call it modern art. It's called minimalist. That's what you want to call it, Funk. That's the word you're looking for. But yeah, so her channel pretty much started about 8 months ago. As far as her creating content for directly for this. Uh, She's got 631 subscribers, 73 videos. A lot of those are also shorts that she's put out together. Obviously, the channel is not necessarily new. It's been around for at least 3 years. But I think the content creation, it's one of those things too, where I think we all start out, we have to have a channel. And eventually we start building up the courage to go, all right, I'm going to do a video. And, but, she hit it out of the park right off the bat because, the stuff she's putting together, it's really, really nice. I really like this tank that she set up here. It's got a little bit of a saddle feature where you have like two hills in a low valley. I really like that. I hadn't really seen anybody do anything like that. Uh, my daughter just recently asked me to set up an aquarium in her apartment, and I'm thinking I'm going to give her one of the 20 longs that I'm not going to be using. It's 20 long, being that it's I think it's pretty good size for her first tank. It's not overwhelming. It's not overwhelming. Holy smoke. What happened here? Let's see. Received. Who gave out memberships? Let me go up here. Uncle Smiley gifted. Hey, Smiley, thank you so much. I appreciate that. It looks like just one more fish. Ella Aqua, um, Fuzzy KR, Dennis, uh, McKelvey, and Anna Banana were the recipients of those. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate that. Thank you. Let me see. What is this over here? Okay, it's showing that I got two. I'm looking at some of the other things that are on here. So let me see. Go back to. Oh yeah, I'm down here. Oh, so if I hide the overlay, what happens? There we go. And so she recently, this last trip, I was up there this last weekend in Vegas, and she told me that she in her new apartment, she wanted to set up an aquarium. And I was looking at that video that she did, and I'm thinking I'm going to borrow some of her ideas and try to create something that is going to be relatively easy to keep, especially for a beginner aquarist, and something that doesn't require too much maintenance or anything like that. So I think that's going to be a good candidate, or good idea to scape the aquarium. And then it's going to be kind of cool because then we'll be able to go out together and have her pick out some fish. We kind of looked at some fish this last weekend that we were out and about at some of the stores. Um, Obviously, I she she likes the bigger fish. Like she immediately was attracted to like the flower horns, and she goes, "What else can I keep with it?" And I said, "Absolutely nothing." A lot of the fish that she really liked, she couldn't keep. Not only not in a 20-gallon. That was the other thing I told her. You're gonna need massive aquariums, and I don't know if living on the third floor of an apartment complex is it's gonna allow you to have the type of aquarium you're gonna need to house these things. But she immediately gravitated to that. African cichlids. She really liked a lot of the OBs and the Mbunas. So it's like, yeah, those are cool, but for the space that she has, a 20-gallon is probably about as big as I would feel comfortable putting in her apartment. So we'll see what happens with that. We looked at some other smaller fish. She really likes some of the barbs. She likes some sherry barbs. Um, she likes some guppies, which I have guppies. So I don't know. We'll see. I might just take some stuff that I have here and put it in her aquarium, or we might just go in a total different direction. So this is getting back to the plug. This is TNAquascaping. I believe, again, based on that video that I saw, her name is Corey, and either she was visiting or she is in the San Diego metro area, somewhere over there. So now the next channel, let's go back. Uh, nope, that's still her channel. And one more. Yeah, there we go. We're back on me. And the next one, of course, guys all should recognize this person. Monster Fish Gal. Lori. Uh for those of you that don't know Lori, you guys must be hiding under a rock. Because if you go to any of the live streams throughout the day, Lori will always be in there, and not only in there, but she's one of the most active moderators that we have. Um, Between her, Mandy, and Sam are probably some of the people that you're constantly going to be seeing in the live streams that are moderating. So uh, let's go check out Lori's channel. Let me see. Let me make sure that you guys. Let me do this where. No, this is what I want to make big, so you guys can see. Obviously, by the name, uh, Lori likes some of the bigger fish. I know she was a guest on a live stream with Funk a few years back. That's the first time I really got to meet Lori. Was on one of his live streams, and it's just a lot of the times if you don't really take the opportunity to go check out their channels, people in the chat, you'll never find out that what kind of stuff they're keeping. And she's really got some beautiful fish. A lot of these fish though are fish that I really enjoy watching in her aquariums. It's not stuff that I would necessarily keep just because that's not the type of aquariums that I normally keep. Especially now that I'm trying to downsize quite a bit, trying to get to smaller tanks so that I can aquascape them and things like that. Um, she recently, Lori recently did a video about 2 days ago where she's hand feeding some stingrays that she has. Uh, she's just got these really really cool fish that I normally wouldn't be able to keep, just because I don't like the single fish per aquarium. But um, you know that's what's so unique about this hobby is the fact that you can you can do whatever the hell you want, and she does have the bigger tanks and the real estate to be able to do that. So if you haven't really had an opportunity to go check out Lori's channel, make sure you do. Also, if you haven't subbed to her channel, that's the least that we can do as 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 a gratitude for all the stuff that she does in our chats, and as much as she moderates and stuff like that. Um, One of the things that people don't understand is moderators are not people. They don't get paid. They do this for the love of the sport, and so I think it would be a nice gesture if you're not currently subscribed to make sure you go check out the channel and give her a sub and a like and a couple of her videos. And you know I just think it's June says when she grows up she wants to be like Lori. Yeah, I think so too. Uh, so obviously, uh, if you've been involved at all with our community, you know the name. And now that you know the name, you also know the channel. So make sure you go out there and check it out. Let me see. All right. I'm checking the chat to make sure that I don't see anyone that isn't Anna Banana is not. There we go. Let's take care of that. Just trying to do a little bit of housekeeping we do the live streams. All right. So also, if you're new to my channel, the reason you have a wrench is, again, the whole idea of this is to kind of create community, to grow the community. And the best way that I've found to do that is by giving you access to a lot of the people, to anybody. So the wrench gives you the ability to highlight somebody's name, and it'll give you the option to go check out their channels. Kind of like if you go to the description of this video, where you'll be able to click on that that hyperlink. Same thing when you're a moderator, you can do the same thing. So this way, you guys can check out each other's channel. But again, a lot of the times, what happens is if you type that person's name in the search, it won't come up, or you get other channels that have the same similar name, and then you got to scroll through a bunch of them. So this is the quickest way for us to connect, that I found that seems to work, and people are pretty happy with it. So that's why I do that. All right. So next one is also a friend, a member of the community. Uh, Not quite as active as Lori per se, but still, will appear periodically, and that would be Lumi. Um, I came across Lumi's channel on a live stream with Vibes Aquatics. Um, he had her on as a guest. I didn't know anything about her until that live stream. I didn't, apparently, she was a content creator on a different what would you call genre, where she would put, I guess it was like a gaming genre and some other stuff that she was doing, and but at the same time, I believe she was keeping aquariums, and so let me, okay, focus. Too many things at once. Oh wait, that's not what I wanted. Okay, close that. I want more. And here we go. All right. So Lumi, she'll periodically appear on some of the live streams. What she has is, she's got some outdoor ponds that that she's actually hand built herself. She didn't hire anybody to go out there and build these things for her. And periodically she'll live stream with her in the pond, messing around with the fish and doing whatever maintenance she needs to do in the pond. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Um, Again, that's kind of like her thing, and she does have a couple of aquariums in the house, but uh, her outdoor activities really consist of her doing things to her pond, whether it's adding fish or removing fish, or just different things out there. Um, Again, uh, like I was saying, I know that she this channel, or this form of this channel, is relatively new. Um, because she was doing a lot of gaming stuff, and from what I understand, she did that for a long time, and then kind of started up on the fish side. It's just another hobby that she has. But what I like about Lumi, though, is like, she's I would consider her like one of the dudes. What I mean by that, I don't have to be too delicate or be careful what I say, because for the fear of offending somebody. She's not like that. She can take it and give it back just as good. So that's kind of one of the things that I thought was really really cool about her. And again, like I said, she's just another person that is part of our community. You'll periodically see her on either Vibes or live streams, or MNC Aquatics, or Jeff, or um, you know uh, on different channels out there. Hey, Jody, Benjamin, Jose, thanks for coming in. And so yeah, that's her channel there. Again, go check it out. Like I said, if you're interested in ponds, this is probably a channel that's going to be more up your alley. If you like stuff with gaming, that's probably another person. I forgot I'm not a gamer, so I'm not up to speed as to what the current games are, or what platforms or anything like that. But if you're a gamer, well, maybe you can guys can link up and talk about whatever that is. The only games that I actually play on 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 my PlayStation are either football or baseball, and that's pretty much it. I don't I don't do a whole bunch of other stuff for the most part. So that would be Lumi's channel. The next one that I want to talk to you about is Cece's Aqua Escapes. Cece, I came across her channel on a live stream that Eddie seems to be the common denominator with a lot of these new channels that I come across too. Um, Eddie gets out about as much as I do, but he goes to a lot more of the events and things like that. And it was at the San Antonio this last summer, and that's not true. It was an event, and that's where I came across CC's channel, and as a matter of fact, that's an event that Steve, Warrior Planet Tanks, was actually vending, and I had her walk over there and tell him and told ask her to say hello, and so that's how I came across CC's channel. And then I think she was also a guest on one of Eddie's live streams, and then she just been an integral part of the community. Um, One of the things that's really cool about her channel. Let me see if I can get this to open. Here we go. Hopefully this take us there. Is that she does a regular live stream. Um, and in this live stream, what I like about them is that she'll pick a topic. She'll take a topic, whatever it is, and she will start, dissecting the topic and talking about it and exploring different things. Obviously giving you her opinions and based on her experience. So if you really like uh, those type of those types of live streams, where they really gets into the nitty gritty about fish and species and things like that. I think this is going to be a live stream that you would really enjoy. I know for a while there she was talking about older books and books that are hobby related. If I'm not mistaken, I think she was reading from those books on occasion. So she's very active for the short time that, well, at least I wouldn't say short time. Let's see, but from the time that I came across her channel to recently, yeah. So it's a year old now, because in June of 2024 is when she started up her channel, and she's been slowly, kind of growing. I Again, I don't know if she's currently here with us today, but she's another one that'll pop up randomly in different chats and there and participate there. But yeah, I think the only drawback for some of you on her live streams is that because she is in Houston, she's on Central Time, and I believe she goes on after New Local Austin, which he's already kind of streaming kind of late, as it is for a lot of people on the East Coast. So I think that's one of the things that's limited her, is the fact that it's so late in at night. But I'm sure she's gonna find her audience, because there's always somebody out there. Um, you know, I've gone I've gone on at 12 o'clock at night, and some of you guys are up and will come by and say hi. And hopefully, by doing this today, this will bring a little bit of attention for those of you that didn't know that she was doing these live streams, and you happen to be up at late at night one of these nights. You might be able to catch her live stream, and or just now that you know that she's doing this, kind of put the notifications on, and the next time she goes live, you'll be able to be a participant there. So yeah, that's CC. Apparently, just again, me and my assumptions. No, but I know that she really does like angelfish and rice fish. She has a lot of fish. Uh, I know I've seen a couple of her videos about keeping rice fish, and um, her and I have had a little bit of conversations on some of the chats talking about rice fish. So I know that's something that she has quite a bit of knowledge on, as much as other topics. So that is Cece's channel. She's currently has 243 subscribers, 127 videos. So she's putting in some work for the short amount of time. She's really in a year. I don't know if I had. I don't even know my first year I had 100 videos that I've done. So make sure you guys go check her out. If you like what she's doing, give her a sub and give her a like. So that's Cece's channel. The next one I want to talk about, and I believe she's still here, and that is Rachel. Uh, let's see. Let me go. Yep. Here we go. Go over here. Do this. It's bootscatsbootscats. Rachel's been around for quite some time now. As far as I can remember, at least Rachel, if I'm not mistaken, you've been. Oh yeah. Well, her channel started in 2012, but I remember seeing Rachel in some of the chats. She was a regular on Rico Stan's live streams, and many other channels. I believe she's in the Pacific Northwest, if I'm not mistaken. Um, and So she's on the West Coast, and I know that's one of the reasons why I remember coming across her a lot, especially like in the later night live streams, because it's not that late for us. And so she was kind of a regular there. I know recently she only kind of will appear here and there in some of the live streams. Life gets busy, but the reason I'm even bringing it up too is because she's been on and off as far as creating content. Um, I know she's got three complete videos that she did, but she does do some shorts and other things like that. And again, it's somebody else who's very active in our chats. You know, been involved in our community for quite some time. She's got 131 subscribers for 5 videos. By doing this, we can encourage her to do a little bit more. I know she's done a few unboxings and 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 shared what she's purchased um in those unboxings. And so yeah, that would be Rachel's channel. If you didn't know that she had a YouTube channel, now you know. Yeah, I've been around for a while. Yeah, because I can remember you for a while back, especially I think even during the pandemic at some of the really late night live streams, um, kind of hanging out and going back and forth. Uh, Another one that used to be a real regular in those late nights was Amisa, and or Kalish as she goes by now, but it used to be Amisa. So that's her channel. I'm writing down names because I never, Dennis. If you go to the description of this video, I've already done it for you, and you can just click on. Oh, you're writing the person's names. Okay, never mind. Yeah, I just kind of yeah, but so that yeah, that's Rachel's channel. And then these two are by no means small channels. Actually, they're pretty sizable channels. Especially one of them. Oh, he doesn't have one. My bad. Sorry, Dennis. We'll fix that right now. There you go. All right. So let me make sure that there isn't anybody else. Thank you, Benjamin. I appreciate you bringing that to my attention. Let me look real quick. Make sure nobody else. If you don't have a wrench and I haven't given you one, make sure you type in the chat real quick. Just say hello or something so that it pops up. And I see this one is a little bit different because I think on StreamYard I can tell who has a wrench and who doesn't. And on here, It doesn't tell me that. So I think he was okay. Shane Marshall, yo MC. Let's see, Shane. Let's give Shane a wrench. Make sure I'm not forgetting anybody else. Anna Banana. I think Anna Banana already got hers, right? Anna the G. Yeah, she already got hers. Make sure I'm not missing anybody else. Okay, I think that's everybody. If you don't have a wrench, like I said, just type in say hello. It'll come up on my phone, and we'll take care of that real quick. Oh, the Jorge promoter. Well, I don't know if amazing, but I just it's just a way for us to all connect. I mean, at the end of the day, that's why we're all kind of hanging out together. Is because we kind of enjoy, I guess our company. So, what better way to make that connection a little bit more stronger by you being able to communicate with these people. So, uh, okay, so the last two channels there are what I would call like bonus channels. The first one is emscaping. I believe she is in France. She's an aquascaper, relatively new channel. Amazing how quickly she has grown. I believe in about in the span of a year, she's managed to get up to just over well, almost 17,000. Very impressive. That's one of the ones that it didn't let me hyperlink. For some reason, it wouldn't do it. I tried typing it different ways, and there it is. She's got some really, really nice aquascapes. Very impressive. Um, Obviously, somebody that I know has been doing this for a lot longer than she's been putting out videos. Um, just on the skill level, um, has really put some work not only into her thumbnails, just all around package as far as content creation. Good, it's always good video, good audio. Um, Topics are interesting. I really enjoy it because again, this is something that I want to be able to achieve with my fish room. So I've been kind of looking at some of this stuff. I know she recently was talking about being able to compete at a local aquascape, her very first aquascape competition, where she teamed up with another well-known aquascaper, and they both were doing that. Just very impressive. She's got these rocks that she managed, and I was hoping I could find a video where she talks about how she went about doing this, but I for just the lack of understanding, I call them chia pets. And if you remember, well, some of you guys are too young to remember, but chia pets were these little ceramic things that you would brush on some seeds to them, water them, and they would grow. Well, she managed to do that with some rocks, and I think it's in this. Let me see. I'm trying to find the video where she is it this one? Yeah, I think this video will highlight it. There you go. Let me pause it. And she like when Funk was joking about his aquascapes or bare bottom tanks or whatever. What I really like about this aquascape, it's very simple. It's just two rocks in an aquarium, but yet she's managed to capture or to create uh, a whole different scene with just two rocks. I know it's like Christmas moss. The only thing I'm curious is whether she used the string and wrapped it around the rock, and finally over time it attached, or she did the blender, which I wish she would. She might have. she might have discussed that in a different video that I haven't watched. And I know that's a technique that some guys will do, or some, not guys, but some aquascapers will do, where they'll throw a bunch of moss into a blender and they'll blend it, and then they brush it on. They'll paint with the stuff, and eventually it starts growing. And it's the best way to attach it to a surface. And so I don't know which of the techniques she used, but I just think it's like super super cool. The effect that she was able to do that. And I think in this video she's just talking about setting up the CO2 system, a homemade CO2 system that she was trying out, and some of the pros and cons of using that sort of CO2. But again, I really really have been enjoying this channel, been taking some inspiration from it and some of the things that she's done. Hopefully, it'll be stuff that'll inspire me to do some other stuff with my aquariums. But um, again, excellent videos. Audio quality is always good. Um, very very clean, and indentation is always spot on. Which is like 180 degrees from what I do. Everything is, so that's, I don't know. This is something that I aspired to eventually, being able to get to a point like that. So, it's somebody that I enjoy watching because of that. It kind of gives me that motivation to be better. So that's her channel. Again, within less than a year, she's really accomplished quite a bit. But she's doing all the things that you hear from the tutorials, where the interesting thumbnails being out in front in the thumbnails. You immediately know it's one of her videos. They're all kind of very similar in the way they're done, so you all know they kind of belong to her. So it's really good. I mean, I again, this is something that um that works as motivation to try to get better. Um, this channel basically started up. It's actually less than a year, so it's about 10 months since the channel's been up. Well, that's the other thing though. She's been very busy. In less than a year, she's managed to put out 764 videos. Not only shorts, it's a combination of doing the long form videos, and I think a lot of what she's also doing is what Funk has told me to do for years. Well, not years, but it's kind of been on me, where you use I don't know if she's using an AI um, um, application where it'll cut your videos into shorts, and a lot of the shorts you could tell they're from her videos. Also very busy on Instagram. She does a lot of stuff on Instagram, and thought they were going to be almost exactly the same videos, but no, they seem to be different things that she's doing on Instagram. But yeah, you can see where these shorts are coming from basically a video, and she's able to cut them up into nice little shorts. She's getting the views uh, on a lot of the stuff, so it's just one of those things where I know at first gut reaction based on what some people do on YouTube, you would think it's like, it's not a real channel, but it is. It is, because you can see it. I see it. So that's again, this channel is called Emscapes, and if I'm not mistaken, I think she's mentioned that she resides in France. So, and all the videos are in English. They're not dubbed. Actually, it's her speaking English. So that's also kind of cool, because um although AI is getting a little bit better, you can kind of still tell that when somebody is dubbing, um is not necessarily speaking that. Hey, I gotta go do something real quick. Sorry about that. I'll be right back. All right. Sorry about that. All right. So the last channel that we have on here is this is interesting because this channel originally is not an aquarium channel. This young lady started out or is still a bigger channel or the I guess her channel really is about plants. But recently she did a video about her aquariums and she was talking about having interest in in posting more content regarding her aquarium. And I think she's got a couple of them if I'm not mistaken. But this is why I really find this interesting because anybody that's been following me for for a little bit of time has heard me harp on this, that I see a trend where there's an intersection from our aquatic hobbies with not only plants but reptiles and um and the other forms of keeping aquariums and stuff like that. And it was only a matter of time. And I don't think she's going to be the only one. I think there's going to be a lot of people that'll be doing that crossover from whatever channel they were doing, and just kind of coming over to show off their other interests. And it just makes sense if it just anybody that is in any of these hobbies, whether it's reptiles, birds, plants, and aquariums, they easily translate from one to the other. I mean, it just makes perfect sense, because at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is capture a little glimpse of nature, a little piece of nature, not a glimpse, a little piece of nature that we can kind of capture and keep it in our and yeah, I haven't. Oh, yeah, I'll address that in a minute. A little bit of nature in our homes. People that are doing the plants, that they're trying to bring the outdoors indoors. We keep aquariums. We're trying to replicate what we see out in the wild, and so it just makes sense that a lot of these hobbies or interests are going to have some crossover. For me, this is something that I kind of get excited about because in our hobby right now, it's also trending with planet aquariums that not only have submerged plants, but you have immersed plants that are growing off the top of your aquariums, and they do dual purpose. Not only do they look attractive, but they also help you with the reduction of nitrates in your aquarium. So somebody with her knowledge about house plants could be a resource for questions that I might have when it comes to trying to put plants in an aquarium. And so maybe it's one of those things where having somebody with that much experience with some of the house plants could give information regarding, oh, look, these plants will easily be able to be kept in an aquarium also, besides being a house plant. I know there's a lot of channels that are out there. I always get uh, his channel name, and I don't understand why, because every time I read it, it makes perfect sense. But I think it's called Plants Love Fish, or Plant Fish Love, or I I always get his channel name wrong. For some reason, it won't stick in my mind. But he's one of the first aquarium channels that really started incorporating a lot of house plants, at least that I discovered, that I started watching on a regular basis, to the point now where I think he partnered up with a nursery and he helps build like little mini ponds and stuff like that. So he took his hobby and he created a business out of it. So yeah, seeing these mergers just makes sense to me. It just makes perfect sense. Hey Jesse, thanks for coming in. Uh Asia, thank you for being here. Who else? Kyle's here. Convict. Thanks for coming in. Hey Ed, thanks for being here. Shirley, thank you for coming in. Um, Jake and Katie, thanks for being here. George, thanks for dropping in. Let's see. Ben Sharp, thanks for being here. Am I missing anybody? If I am, I'm sorry. Oh, Nick. Nick kind of snuck in here. Uh, thanks for being here, Nick. Let me see. Dennis. I think that's everybody. JP. But those are some of the channels that are out there. Again, I think these are the only two videos that she's done so far, which pertaining to aquariums. The first one was the actual video, and then the second one was her responding, I guess, to some questions that she had regarding her aquarium setup. And this is interesting because obviously her audience is a different audience. Her audience is more of the plant industry, so they're going to have a lot of questions or curiosity when it comes to aquariums. And I thought that was really really cool. Hopefully, we see more videos from her as far as her aquariums and what she's doing with them. At least I'm looking forward to it. And then it also kind of sending me down that rabbit hole of looking at plant videos and try to see what I can learn from the plants, the house plants that I can incorporate. Hey, Lumi, thanks for dropping in. I was talking smack about you earlier. You missed it for being late. So, and I'm not going to go back and say what I said. You got to watch the video. Doing that random passing through. Yeah. So those are, oh, obviously let's do her thing. She's got almost 300,000 subscribers, 583 videos. Um, I'm assuming she's got just as big of a platform on Instagram. Been around since 2014, so she's been at it for a while. I'm curious if she kind of went through the same thing where during the pandemic, where a lot of these channels just blew up, and that would be interesting to see. So, Harley G. I don't think I mentioned her channel is Harley G. Um, Again, I just think it's kind of cool that we have somebody else coming from a different genre who also enjoys this and is kind of creating content in our sphere too. So something else to watch. Let me see. Let me get rid of this. Where's the stop sharing? All right. So that's that. So those are the was it 7 again? Yeah, the 7 channels that I wanted to talk to you guys about. I don't know if you also noticed that there's a common thread in all of these channels that that they don't get represented as much, and I really think it's important that we highlight uh, our our female companions in the hobby. Um, there's a lot of talk about women not really being participants in our hobby, and I think it's very important that we point out the ones that are, because again, they're not that many, and compared to the men that you know that obtain the space in this hobby, I think it's important that we recognize some of the ladies that are also doing it and doing it at a high level. There's a lot to learn from what they're doing, and just kind of wanted to bring attention to that. But that's pretty much all I have for you guys as far as the plug is concerned. Um, Again, luckily I still have plenty of different channels out here that I still need to go through, but I'm slowly working through the list. It's getting a little bit smaller. I mean, for a while there, I was doing them almost every 2 days, so that really kind of put a dent on that long list of channels that I have. But just as many as I do, I keep finding no longer a gamer though, retired streamer that randomly pops up. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought that you had said that, but at one point that's what you did, and I think that's what uh, a lot of your content was from that. Um, so hopefully you guys found some new channels that you guys would enjoy. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. I don't. I'm currently working on trying to reschedule the wet floor podcast. That's the one with Jody and Billy. Billy is Aqualust, and Jody is what's his channel name again? That's the only problem when I learn people's names, I forget the channel. Joe's what? Uncle Joe's something. It's coming to me. Uncle Joe's Shack, I want to say, or something to that effect. And well, either way, they have an interesting podcast that they do together, where they're also, it's kind of, I think their target audience is going to be a lot of beginners that have a lot of questions. But I think some of the topics are pretty interesting, and and so hopefully we can work out a date. It's got to be on a Thursday apparently, because they're what I like about their collaboration, which is very different from what the stuff that I do. They're actually in the same building when they collaborate, which is, I wish, is something that maybe way down the future, where I might be able to afford to fly in guests, and then we can have a sit down and do a live stream that way. But they get to do it. They get to work with each other on a weekly basis, and I think on Thursdays is when they'll do their videos or episodes, and they come together. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for your constant support. Thank you so much, Uncle Smiley, for the memberships, and enjoy the rest of your week. You guys have a good one. We'll see you guys soon.